Namaste, and welcome to the new Soul Horoscope Superscope. My name is Christopher Witecki. I'm a modern mystic, and I am a soul biographer. I help people put the pieces of their story together and help you step into your own mysticism, whether that's from traditional religion or any type of religion. I myself believe in all religions. I think that all of it leads to one path, the heart, and I'm here to teach you how to get in your heart if you'd like to. And this horoscope is for Capricorns, the step 8s, and I'm a different kind of astrologer. I believe in steps. I think that each of the 12 signs are one step of consciousness, and we must be able to do all 12 steps in order to pull off reality. So the Capricorns are the step 8s, and step 8 is I decide. Decisions are a big part of manifestation, and Capricorns are all about their decisions. Their decisions lead to law, lead to policy, lead to. This is where you are a controller and where you like to be in control. But what's interesting is this year in your birthday period, the universe is saying, hey, what do you base your decisions on? And I gave it a free megascope for all Capricorns. So you guys get a free megascope. If you go to YouTube, you'll see it's uploaded, where I give you the whole birthday period for free about what your story is and why and how this is the moment to make a new decision and to base your decisions on something else. Right here, the heart, I think, to get to the heart of the matter. Which means that right now you're being faced with the possibility of making new decisions. This may affect your marriage or possibility for marriage. This may affect your sense of security and your sense of future and career. But at the end of the day, what did you come here for? To be good in business or to love your life every moment? That's the question. And so the answer is, well, it depends on what the Capricorn or Capricorn rising decides. Whatever it is that you decide will be. That's always been the case. So if you decided on your heart, for instance, like, you know, if your parents want you to be a lawyer and your heart wants to be a comedian, well then, what's it going to be? Yeah, the lawyer is the safe bet. Is it the happy bet, though? No, it's the safe one. So you're at this moment now. And as a result, what's in the way? Well, marriages are about to change as a result. Home family foundation is about to change. Career is about to change. All about to change if you change your mind about what's really important. What is the root intention behind your decisions? Power, strength, security? If you answered any of the above, you're wrong. The root intention should be love. Love should be every root intention. This is how the universe is designed, and I'll show you here a little bit in like slide 10. First, let's look at the week real quick. This week the moon moves into Pisces, and so Capricorns are wishy-washy on Sunday and Monday, back and forth in their mind about something. They're trying to decide something, and it could play out anywhere in your life. It doesn't really matter because it's about the decision and about the actions you take. It's not about whatever topic is up. So I know Capricorn's worried about marriage. I know Capricorn's worried about business. But then the moon moves into Aries, and at that point, you're going to want to nest and rest, and you're going to feel secure or you're not going to feel secure, and that's going to lead to the decision, whatever that decision is. So emotional security leads to the decision on Wednesday, in my opinion. And then you're going to act on that decision, whatever that is, whether it's to break up or unite or to start a business or retire or whatever it is that you are grappling with. You go ahead and make that decision, and then you act on that decision Thursday, and then basically you are manifesting new on Friday. Now notice I say new, K-N-E-W. In other words, you're manifesting what your heart knew you wanted but you weren't willing to do. And the moon moves into Taurus those 2 days, so your inner child comes alive somewhere after the decision. So you actually have to decide before your inner child is happy, and then your inner child is happy. But here's the thing, if you don't decide, your inner child will probably still decide the next day. This is a huge push in the pool. And everyone who on earth is making some decision this week, some commitment this week to some place in their life this week. In your case, this is a decision anywhere, because it's a decision that defines you, Capricorn, and that defines Capricorn risings. And this decision may be to be there for your heart first, or this decision may be to put your heart first. But what I predict is between Sunday and Wednesday, Thursday, I predict a radical shift in your priorities or objectives in life. That you woke up Sunday going, I'm going to retire young, and you woke up Thursday going, I don't care if I ever go to work again. Right? Like there's a radical decision, a radical change. So let's look at consciousness for a second and how it works. We'll get out of the rain and into the clouds. You are a step 8. That means that in the universe, you come 8th. And I know Capricorns, everyone thinks they come first. Well, let me explain to you how that dynamic actually works. We all come first, our inner child comes first, but we have this stairway to heaven. Oh, I know you just want to play the song, don't you, when you hear that? Here are the steps in order in which they are manifested. Notice how high up on the ladder you are. The goat likes to be on top of the mountain. But notice that I am, step 9, that's the rams. They're actually one step higher than you. And that's true because most Capricorns can't fight. So at the end of the day, a ram is going to kill you and take the keys. Usually that's the case. So good old, that's why the military rules the world. So step 10 is I manifest. That's the Taurus. So if we don't pay for the military, that'll never happen. And then actually look at that at step 11 is Virgo at the top of the pyramid. And why is that? Because Virgo is all the steps twice, actually. That's why they're so heavy. Now, that said, this is the structure of reality, and you are at step 8, and here's the thing. Capricorns want to live right at step 8 where you decide. It's time to decide. Well, guess what? You are not a decision. You are step 0 and step 1, a 0 and a 1. We are all a 0 and a 1. We are all binary 0 and 1. The 0 is protect, the 1 is what? Love. And so, if you stay focused on loving and protecting yourself, then you can look at the whole staircase and make decisions based on the whole staircase. If you focus just on the decision step only and don't look at all the steps from the basis of loving and trusting yourself, you won't make the right decision. This is how you get steered off course, because Capricorns only decide with what they see in front of them. And I think that's what Pluto and Capricorn is really about. I think the new Capricorn decides blindfolded. I think the new Capricorn is like Luke Skywalker with a lightsaber, basically having to figure it out, through sensory perception, because that's the new age of Aquarius. That is the Pisces age reborn. I love how my mouth just makes things. ACs 360s. I don't know. I was going ACDC. I don't know where I was going with that. 80s rock music. So you were step 8, and the question is, did you protect yourself today? Did you love yourself today? Before you get to any decisions, we've got to do these steps, but I can't go through all the steps today. We're going to go over this more in the future. So let's talk about how to practice our daily life. Mastery takes practice. Practice makes master, and this is the truth. So Capricorn's worrying about be perfect. Don't worry. Try to practice perfectly. I want to see you practice perfectly, not be perfect. I want to learn to focus on practicing perfectly. And this is the mantra I would like you to practice, actually. It's called PLUR, powered by PLUR. Peace, love, unity, and respect. These 4 principles will keep you in total positivity. These 4 principles will actually bring world peace. If everyone approaches with PLUR, we will all reach world peace. This is my calculation. I'm happy to try it out and see if I was wrong. So here's how we are. The first level is peace. When it comes to peace and Capricorns, where does the peace come from? Well, for one, Capricorns don't like it when they're out of synchronicity with their partnerships. So whenever they're in partnership issues, they are in their that makes them uneasy. But the truth is that peace comes from a peaceful innerverse, which leads to a peaceful outerverse. So if you're worried about everyone else, then you can't get your innerverse at peace. What else is going on for them? Well, I would say the Uranus in Aries opposing Mars in Libra is the other part that's really disrupting the peace. Your home and family foundation is disrupted mostly because you are going to look at home and family differently. You're going to look at strength differently. Strength is not having a flawless record. Strength is having fallen down and gotten back up, says the Aries. And that's really what Capricorns are capable of. It's like if I knock a Capricorn completely off their mountain, oh, they get up all right and come charging back. We're talking about when you're trying to get to the top of the mountain, that your calculations are not causing you death, but they're causing you the race. They're causing you what your heart wants. And so therein lies the issue. So your inner peace must be resolved first. You cannot go out there with a stomach ache. You cannot go to work not feeling good. You must feel totally at peace with yourself emotionally before you go out and do any deals with the outerverse. Otherwise, you'll have non-peaceful nations approaching your United States of awareness. Okay, point 3, love. Now notice that love comes after peace. So people tend to want to think that love will calm them down. Capricorns especially think love will calm them down. Well, yes, if the other person just drains into you like a vampire, we have to bring to the table a peaceful nature, and then we add love. So the question is, how much do you do to love yourself? Do you actively love yourself? I would say probably not. I mean, you want to, but I think what happens is that Capricorns get very judgmental on themselves, and this is kind of where the Scorpio issue is. Saturn in Scorpio is saying, you've got to quit worrying about the outerverse, okay? The outerverse is your place in the world, what people think, what people will say. You know what? Don't even worry about the outerverse until your innerverse is happy. So if you go, oh, I have a bad reputation, it's like, well, are you happy? No, I'm not happy. Well, then we can't worry about reputation because your innerverse has no love. So if you're not giving yourself love in the innerverse, you won't be getting no love in the outerverse. That's friends, romance, you name it. All right, that's love. Now, unity. Unity actually is pretty easy for Capricorns. They're actually badass at unity. Unity is being able to unify your nation. If you don't watch a Capricorn, they'll unify your neighbor's nation and the other person, and before you know it, everyone is under their corporation. You're like, what happened? All I signed was a disclaimer for Girl Scout cookies, and they're like, no, that was actually a disclaimer for your first 7 born. No, I'm just kidding, Capricorn. But the truth is that Capricorns are the ones who tend to unify very naturally on their own. They say Saturn, your home planet, is the Lord of the rings. Saturn lords over the inner rings, or the inner rings of consciousness. We'll talk about this deeply. So your innerverse must be of integrity and unity. Now I would say that for Capricorns, maybe there's too much unity. Maybe in this case it's time to disunionize, time to break up AT&T and make it compete. Look what happened when we broke up AT&T. If you're around in the 80s, you remember this. This is a good Capricorn story because AT&T is a very Capricorn kind of, I think it's actually a Capricorn corporation. But it got broken up. It didn't want to. It had blah, blah, blah. Long story short, there's now 4 competitors, and maybe it's probably making more money than it ever has, and it still has all the control over all the trunk lines. Nothing really hurt. Now it just has other brands to share responsibility with. So, you know, sometimes it's good to break up in order to get stronger in the end. Capricorns, I think, have a problem sometimes with the disunity, really. Respect is another one that I think Capricorns do well. I think you respect yourself. I think you're the king or queen of respect, and maybe the king or queen of self-respect, and maybe that gets in the way because maybe at times you're learning how to respect in the outerverse. You know, so here's what I can tell you. You really should treat everyone the way you treat yourself. Really. And because you're Capricorns, if you treat yourself like shit, go ahead and treat other people like shit. Because you're so paranoid about reputation, you'll like get away with that for 2 minutes and they'll be like, now you have to change, you know. But really, respecting yourself means respecting boundaries, and boundaries are limits, and limits are when you file with the universe, hey, this is as much as I can take, this is as much as I can do, this is my limit. And then once you have the limit, you have to respect the limit and go, this is it. That means you go home when you're tired. That means you speak up when you say you're going to. And so honoring and respecting those commitments to yourself will allow you to honor and respect the commitments to people in the outerverse. Okay? But if you don't honor that invisible boundary, a boundary is basically a circle, not a line. A line is not a boundary. A circle is. We have to circle around it, circle above it, circle everywhere. That's how we create a bound, right? So they always say in light work that put yourself in a sphere of light. You know, that's because that's what's solid. Above, below, side to side, right? So respect those invisible bubbles. You expect everyone to respect yours. Respect others. That's another thing too. Sometimes Capricorns don't just, you know, sometimes they don't respect others' boundaries. I mean, I'm not going to bring more examples. Watch the Megascope. I don't want to be a downer about Capricorns because the truth is that Capricorns are changing dynamically. With Pluto and Capricorn, they are now the freshest sign of the zodiac. They're fresh born, all those young ones. So the truth is I'm trying to make it very clear for you guys so you can change, but I don't want to dissuade you from changing, you know. I want to encourage you. So that wraps up my PLUR approach. And remember, PLUR is the way to approach your life. If you can live in the PLUR, peace, love, unity, and respect to the moment, I think you can do anything on planet Earth. Now, I'm going to talk about soulmart.me and a couple things you might not know about. For one, I get deep in the Megascope differently than I do now in the SUPERscopes. This is for $11.11. I'll give you the mantra for the year. I put a whole mantra for the year in this thing, a Super New Year's Eve mantra, and the one that Capricorns need to know. Check it out for $11.11 at soulmart.me, immediate download. If you want a reading with me, I am available for $99 per hour, and this is a sale. $99 is usually about $165, and you'll get a 15-minute follow-up for free. The software will auto-assign that for you when you come on down to soulmart.me. And the last thing I'm excited to tell you about is this, GA Venus. A lot of people ask, where does Soul Garden go? Well, all of our talented on-camera practitioners and whatnot will be focusing on now on GA Venus and other projects. And this is us aiding and protecting ladies, particularly single women. And so this is it's kind of a hybrid. I don't want to tell too much about it, but it's really a service to help women fall in love and to protect women in that process. And you can get a free 1-week trial of it if you come down to gavenus.com and fill out your stats. We'll put you on the service for a week, and then we'll see if you want to keep it or not. All right, so come on down for that. Alrighty, well, the crazy eights, it's now time to go go into infinity and beyond and say goodbye for now. But I will see you in 7 days, Capricorn. Until then, live, love, be.